How's it going, Jade? I received your reminder string with a side note from when you were alchemizing and using your Pictionary modus. Did I see it right when you drew up the Johnny 5 from a movie that you called stupid? You know me. When it comes to stupid movies, say no more. The movie Short Circuit turns out to be an adventure comedy that focuses on a robot's coming-of-age story, complete with all electronic teenage angst. The movie opens up with a series of robots that go through testing for the destructive power. These robots come from Nova Labs and are designed to handle and destroy nuclear weaponry. One particular robot, number 5, goes through malfunction after being struck by lightning, not unlike Frankenstein's monster. Number 5 crosses paths with an animal-loving girl named Stephanie, who takes him in and teaches him ways of being a human. As the story goes on, Stephanie doesn't want to have to deal with number 5 being a robot sent out to destroy things, and Nova Lab wants him back because he's worth a lot of money and also has a lot of destructive power. And number 5 just wants to be alive. He learns from Stephanie that being disassembled is the equivalent of being dead. Similar to the movie The Fugitive, number 5 plays the role of Harrison Ford, and Tommy Lee Jones is played by the character of Newton Crosby, the guy who just wants to keep people safe, but also realizes that there could be innocence with Harrison Ford. And he does that with the impression of number 5 actually being alive and being self-aware.
Spontaneous emotional response!
I am alive, yes?
There are a few lessons that you can take away from the movie Short Circuit, and they include: watch out for robots with eyes that narrow or glow red. A lot of that ties into the robots triggering of their death rays, or their laser beams. Number 2. Idle hands are the devil's playthings. Case in point, when Stephanie leaves number 5 alone while she goes to sleep, he sets the kitchen in a frenzy of disaster while he's trying to cook breakfast for her. Number 3. Robots do not want to be disassembled or die. Stephanie made the mistake of teaching number 5 that being disassembled is the same thing as dying. Number 4. Set limits on how much information robots or computers can learn or have access to. And why is that? A lot of it ties into number 5 being a little too smart for himself, but luckily he gains a funny and goofy personality where it doesn't become too dangerous. Number 5 ties into how we learn behaviors. A lot of that is based on who raises us, whether it be the television for number 5 or Stephanie, who is raised by her family that taught her how to be an animal lover, or essentially a lover of all living things. To quote Newton Crosby, robots do not feel, they just run programs. And so I thought, what's something that we can take away from robots to make our lives better? And so I thought, what about an exercise program? How about we run that? I call the first exercise the rising robot technique. It starts out with you lying on your back with your arms and legs extended straight out. You want to rotate your ankles so they do a circular motion as you lift your legs and also your arms at the same time. With the contraction of your abs and your hands and feet touching at the top, you rotate back down and do another rep. The second exercise I call the staying alive twist. And with a twist of one knee crossing over to the opposite elbow and your hands extending to the opposite side of your knee, you do a crunch that contracts the side obliques and causes the serratus to show more. With the third exercise, you also want to focus on your obliques and also the elimination of your love handles. With this, you want to lay your elbow firmly planted in line with your shoulder and your wrist on the ground as well. As you rise your hips up off the ground, you essentially want to mimic how a bridge functions. As you lower your hips down after each repetition, you want to rotate and turn over on the other side and repeat. The next exercise will help to improve your jumping technique, similar to number 5 as he was mimicking the grasshopper. This technique can be done with a resistance band but is not required to. Take notice to grasp firmly each end of the band so as not to cause any injury with it snapping back. The main points you want to focus on is with technique. You want to leave an arch in your back and press off with your heels, not your toes. As you rise up from the squat position, it will cause extra tension in your thighs, or your quadriceps. For those looking for an extra challenge, you can try the God tier mode with using dumbbell weights. I made this out of combining a lot of my different interests, being Homestuck, cosplay, fitness, and movies. My goal in making this series is to explore beyond face value the things that we watch and read, along with promoting a positive, healthy lifestyle based around the things that we're interested in. No longer should we ever be pegged with the idea of being a nerd that's out of shape. If you guys enjoyed the series and want to watch more, it would help me out tremendously to have you guys share and like this video and comment below on things that I can do in the future. Once again, this is a Bant Hero saying thank you. And remember, if Senpai doesn't notice you, it's probably because you're an awesome ninja.